This is not just a purse, it is a $50,000 financial asset, a tangible piece of art crafted for the world's elite. It is the pinnacle of status. But the journey from a primordial swamp to a Parisian boutique is the most brutal, calculated, and fiercely protected supply chain on the planet. Before the polish, before the stitching, there was only the beast, an apex predator that has survived 200 million years of evolution. The secret? Turning that raw, aggressive nature into a canvas of flawless, unblemished skin. We're not talking about farming cattle. We're talking about farming perfection. We spent months tracking the global pipeline, from the humid, secretive hatcheries of Southeast Asia, across international borders, to the legendary tanneries of Europe. We uncovered the astonishing, counterintuitive methodology, the climate control, the surgical diets, and the shocking use of isolation, all designed to prevent a single, profit-destroying scratch. This is the story of absolute control. Phase 1, the flawless skin factory. Phase 2, the alchemy of the tannery. Phase 3, the price of perfection. And finally, the ethical verdict. Prepare to see the world's most expensive supply chain you were never meant to witness. The entire industry operates on a razor's edge of biological science. Wild crocodiles lay eggs based purely on chance. But here, chance is eliminated. The eggs are removed almost immediately and placed in climate-controlled incubators. This is where the first $10,000 decision is made. Gender selection. Temperature is the key. A fluctuation of just 2 to 4 degrees Celsius determines the sex. The farm needs a specific ratio, and they will engineer it for profit maximization. A wild hatchling has a high chance of becoming a meal. A farmed hatchling faces a different, more controlled fate. The first months are spent in solitary or small group, sterile environments. Think of it as a luxury nursery, except the luxury is for the skin. The smallest conflict, a fight over territory, a scraped belly against a rough patch of concrete, and the hide is ruined. This animal, by its nature, is a fighter. The system is designed to remove every single instinct that would cause a scratch. Forget the imagery of raw slabs of meat. The diet is clinical. It's a scientifically formulated blend of protein, fats, and calcium supplements. The goal is twofold: optimal health and controlled growth. If the crocodile grows too quickly, the scales can separate, leading to a phenomenon called skin stretching, which again destroys the hide's value. The farmers are not just feeding the animal, they are sculpting the skin structure. This is the most bizarre aspect of the operation. These animals are often kept in climate-controlled sheds, away from the drying sun. Hydration is crucial. In some high-end facilities, workers will even apply topical oils or creams. Why? To maintain elasticity and prevent microcracks. It seems ridiculous, but when a perfect belly hide can be worth $10,000 wholesale, every single layer of epidermis is a financial concern. The debate is fierce. Proponents of farming argue that it saves wild populations by meeting demand with captive-bred animals. 99% of all commercial crocodile leather is sourced from farms. But critics point to the profound ethical cost. A life spent in controlled confinement, denied natural instincts, simply to harvest one perfect asset. This is the moral trade-off. Conservation through commerce. The entire investment, feed, labor, energy, veterinary care, is predicated on a 24 to 36-month timeline, and the failure rate is shocking. Even with this level of control, a significant percentage of hides are downgraded due to flaws. That loss is absorbed into the price of the perfect hides. This is why a Birkin bag costs $50,000. You aren't just paying for the leather, you are paying for the economic risk of perfection. The final hour. The animal reaches the perfect size. usually around 1.5 to 2 meters. The process is mandated by international standards to be instant and humane. But the seconds after are where the money is won or lost. The precision of the first incision is vital. The hide must be flayed perfectly, minimizing any wasted material or, critically, any damage to the follicle line. This is the economic crossroads where 2 years of investment finally pays off. The story you're watching is one of secrets and incredible detail. If you find yourself captivated by the hidden processes that shape our world, take a second, hit that subscribe button, and join our journey of discovery. It truly helps us keep bringing you these deep-dive documentaries. Now, let's follow the skin to the next phase, the tanning.
Immediately, the hide enters the preservation stage, curing. The vast, raw skin is covered in industrial-grade salt.
The salt acts as a powerful desiccant, drawing all the moisture out of the hide to stop bacterial decomposition.
It's an ancient, effective, and absolutely essential chemical process. A hide that is improperly cured will rot and
$10,000 is literally poured down the drain. The cured hide is then rolled, frozen, and begins its journey. The secret cargo of the luxury world. The cured hides now enter the global supply chain. They are the definition of precious cargo. We're talking about thousands of dollars of raw material in every single container, moving from places like Southeast Asia to specialized tanneries in Europe. The transport phase is highly confidential and insured for astronomical sums.
The skin arrives at the tannery, often in Italy or France. This is the alchemy. The process of tanning.
The hide is first soaked in liming solutions to remove hair and flesh, then moved to the colossal rotating drums.
Natural tannins for a rigid, rich finish. Color is not simply painted on, it must penetrate the entire thickness of the leather.
For high-end exotics, there are two main paths: chrome tanning for softness, or the more laborious vegetable tanning using rejected and downgraded. The margin for error is non-existent. The difference between an ordinary leather and a luxury leather is the finish.
The tanner must achieve perfect, consistent saturation across the entire hide. If one corner is lighter, the hide is again.
This is a highly guarded intellectual property. Each luxury brand has its own specific, often patented, color formula.
If the client wants the iconic high gloss shine, the leather enters the glazing process
with a heavy glass cylinder or agate stone to repeatedly rub and press the scales. This physical friction, combined with waxes
and proteins, creates that stunning, mirror-like depth. It is literally pressure and heat turning material into magic.
Velvety texture that still maintains the integrity of the scale pattern. The tanner's signature is his ability to deliver.
For a matte finish, the process is reversed. The hide is meticulously sanded or buffed to remove the shine, creating a soft,
either finish flawlessly. This entire tanning phase, spanning weeks, is what elevates the raw material from a $10,000 skin
to a $30,000 finished piece of leather.
To a $30,000 finished piece of leather.
The finished leather arrives at the luxury workshop. The artisan, often trained for decades, must now treat the leather as an
irreplaceable natural resource. A large handbag requires a single, continuous, perfectly centered piece of belly skin.
The pattern pieces are not cut randomly. They are strategically placed to ensure the scale pattern flows perfectly across the entire finished product. The slightest misalignment ruins the aesthetic and the value. The complexity of exotic leather demands hand stitching. For a bag, this can take a single artisan 40 to 50 hours. The thread count, the depth of the stitch, the perfectly polished
edges. This is the physical manifestation of the price. The human labor, the expertise, and the time spent are a massive component
of the final cost. The leather is the foundation, but the craftsmanship is the skyscraper. And then
the market price is a complex sum of all the risks and investments. You have the cost of the raw hide, the months of chemical processing, the artisan's labor, the brand's immense marketing, and finally, the colossal retail markup. The markup isn't just
profit. It's the brand's assurance of exclusivity, their control over perception, and their guarantee of quality that spans years.
It forces us to ask, is the price worth the process? Is the pursuit of flawless, unblemished skin?
You have now seen the hidden cost of perfection, the multi-billion-dollar machine that turns.
The supply chain of crocodile leather is a microcosm of the luxury world. Ruthlessly efficient,
It forces us to ask, is the price worth the process? Is the pursuit of flaw?
You have now seen the hidden cost of perfection. The multi-billion-dollar machine that turns a cold. The judgment, however, is yours alone. And let us know your verdict.
If you were captivated by this hidden world, hit the subscribe button to join our next investigation into the hidden supply chains that power our world.
And let us know your verdict.